Hey guys, welcome back to Super Switch U. I'm going to try to talk a little bit louder. I guess some people are having difficulties hearing me. I've tried to recreate whatever issues they were having, but I can't seem to find them, so I've just got to take you guys' word for it. So if you do have issues, feel free to say something down below, and I'll do the best that I can to try to correct it. I only have so much to work with here as far as equipment, microphones, headsets, cam. So, not what we're here to talk about, though. Talk about Switch 2 stuff. That's what we do most of the time. So, um, there's it's an interesting thing I saw today, and I haven't looked to see exactly how real or unreal this is. Just saw a couple videos, people talking about it. But apparently, the Japanese box art for some of these game key cards saying something about magnets wiping out the data if they get too close to the Switch cartridge. It's just a warning on the back. And I guess that could be true for the physical, like the regular physical games too, but nobody's found evidence to support that either way. Maybe the Switch 2 cartridges are actually a little bit better than the cartridges for the game key cards. But that's purely speculation. So uh, not a real concern. But I was just kind of thinking about that. Um, Game key cards, possibly cartridges, could be wiped out by a magnet. Yeah, how do the Joy Cons connect again to the system? It's by magnets. um, I wonder if anybody thought about that. I mean, I would hope so because they have tested this thing. Like it releases in 4 days. Like 4 days, people will actually legitimately have this in their hands, and we might lose the information on a cartridge to the magnets that are in the system to hold the Joy-Cons on. It's concerning. And I get it, like, yeah, when it's in the system, it's probably not close enough to the magnets in the system. But I mean, I can't talk for everybody in this case, but I can talk to myself in this case. I got butterfingers, and I have fumbled many a cartridges and possibly a PS Vita into a toilet, which is a story for a different time completely. Um, but I have dropped things in my lifetime. Was the point to this? Um, and if you fumble that cartridge and it's like fumble, oops, it slid right down where that magnet is. Does that wipe out the information on the cartridge? Am I out a $70 or $80 game because I couldn't hold on to it well? And more importantly than that, um, what about the people that are dumb enough to just try it and just swipe it like as close as they can to that magnet? Are they out? Are they out a game because they were dumb and they wanted to try it? I don't know. I don't know that anybody has that question to, or the answer to that question. A lot of people might have that question now that it's brought up, but I don't know. I mean, it's food for thought here. Um, and then it really just kind of brings me back to certain other stories that are out there. Like there was another YouTuber, uh, I can't remember the name of the channel, but I've heard other people talk about it, where he was saying um, the Switch 2 box might be a little bit too close to the original Switch, specifically the OLED box, and people might get confused. Um, which, I mean, should be obvious with the nice big 2 on it, but is it though? Is it really that obvious that it's the Switch 2 if you're not paying attention or you don't know? Because what I mean, if you don't know what OLED means, I mean that could be better than the 2. Uh, you never know if you don't know what OLED is. Um, and I've seen that there's points to the argument both sides. Like they put the two, so nobody should be confused. But we got to talk about the average consumer, the average person who would walk into a store and buy it, not people like me or other YouTubers or you guys that are watching that are probably gamers and have been gamers for a while and like you know these things. But if you're buying a gift for somebody, if you're trying to get into games yourself, but you don't really know where to start and you're trying to figure this out, uh, you might not know. And for the sake of argument here, I'll go back to some things I point out about my normal life, right? Because the whole the Pepsi product cans and things that I have in my videos because I work for PepsiCo as a merchandiser. So I go into the stores, different ones on my route, and stock the stores. And so I have to deal with the people who shop at these places, right? A lot of times it's your Wincos and your Crests and your Homelands, the grocery stores, but we also service Target and Walmart, both of which sell video games and will sell the Switch too. Target's a little bit different. Like I have less problems with the average consumer in Targets. But if you've never shopped in a Walmart or you've never spent extensive time in a Walmart, it will give you every piece of information you need to know about the average consumer. I'm not saying everybody that shops at Walmart, but I mean you see those videos online, the crazy people overreacting, falling over in the little rascal shopping cart things, tip over and don't have tip assist to go back. South Park reference. Um, but I mean, it's not far off from the average person. People are stupid. It's like by nature, we are all stupid to some degree. Some of us a little smarter than others, but as an average for the whole the 7 billion plus people on the planet Earth, most of us are stupid, and you see that most in Walmart. Like they can't tell the difference between a vendor and an employee 9 times out of 10, like 9.5 times out of 10. Because I'll have like I won't even be wearing a blue shirt. Like I could understand because of the blue vest uh, uniform that Walmart has, a blue shirt might be confusing. But there are times I wear the black shirts that say Pepsi on it. It's like there's a Pepsi logo, and then real big in letters, like big white letters on this black shirt, Pepsi, right across the back. And they'll walk up from behind me and they'll ask about vacuum cleaner bags or charcoal or cooking oil, maple syrup, and I'm like, I just work for Pepsi. I don't know because this isn't even my regular Walmart. I shop at the Shawnee one because it's like 5 miles. And when I don't like to deal with all the people there, I'll go to Chandler or I'll go to Seminole. But the ones I work in, most of the time, I couldn't tell you where anything is. So for them to come up and ask me, it's like, no, but you probably should have just asked if I worked here, if you were confused by the Pepsi logo and letters on the back. Maybe they can't read, but if they can't read Pepsi, they're not going to read 2 on the Nintendo Switch 2 box. That's the point I was ultimately trying to come back to. So, sorry for the long-winded story there. It's just the average consumer is stupid because people are stupid. That's the point. So you throw a 2 on the box, but the rest of it looks the same. Yes, a lot of people are going to get confused. I mean, people got confused when you stick the letter U at the end of Wii, and there's a big old tablet controller, and they just think it's the Wii. They don't even look the same. The Wii was square and stood upright most of the time. Most of the time you see Wii U, it's rounded and it's laying sideways. Like it should have been different enough, and yet people got confused. So yeah, I completely agree. There are going to be a lot of people out there that are going to get confused, and so with that and the fumbling and the possibly even trying or throwing a magnet near a cartridge brings up the point, did Nintendo idiot proof the Switch 2? I think the answer might be no. I think all these young guys that were in the presentation, all these new faces for Nintendo, I think they jumped in and they took the lead on this thing, and they didn't fully grasp that people are stupid and that they might not catch this as a Switch 2 versus a Switch OLED versus a Switch Lite versus a Switch 1. Just because you put a 2 on the box, it doesn't immediately make that better. And the thing is, like, I'm not against Switch 2. I'm buying it. I I want to have high hopes for Switch 2. I'm just pointing out the things that I'm noticing here is that I don't think that the marketing team idiot proofed the system enough to where it could have the numbers that Switch 1 had. It could still sell great. Like it could maybe even reach the 100 million console sales mark, but uh it might not hit those highest numbers. It might not be the best selling console of all time. It might not even pass the DS or even the Wii. uh, just saying, like it seems possible because it's already facing a lot of issues as it is. It's really expensive compared to all of Nintendo's previous consoles in a time where people can't even afford to pay their bills, the mortgage, their electric bill, can't buy a car, and yet you're asking people to drop $450 to $500, then $80 a game. Um, then you have other things, right? Like the Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games. Uh, Again, average consumer would walk in and see that and think that's just a straight Switch 2 game. That's not going to work in the Switch 1. That's maybe not going to have. I don't know. What would people be confused by on that? I guess. I I don't know. I don't know. Oh, you know what? No, I got it. Here, I can bring it back. I can bring it back. Um, they would be confused as to why Switch 2 games cost more for the exact same game they're getting on Switch 1, right? If I'm going to pay for this game $60 on Switch 1 or $70, even $80 on Switch 2, why? What's the benefit here? Just because it's on this console, I'll buy the first one. There's no point for me to go for Switch 2. And when half of Nintendo's games announced coming out for Switch 2 are Switch 2 Edition games, the appeal is not as heavily present, I feel like, to a lot of people. I mean, I want it. I want it just straight up for Mario Kart, for Donkey Kong, and the all the possibilities of Kirby Air Ride. I'm excited for that. Um, but I'm fans of those series, right? If you don't like Kirby, uh, a big 3D open smash 'em up Donkey Kong game is not your kind of thing. Uh, Mario Kart may or may not be. So you might have like one game, and like what's the point? Because all these other things could just get on Switch One, and when you advertise backwards compatibility, uh, what's the point? Most of that library is on Switch One. Switch One's only like $300. You should just buy a Switch One. Uh, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see because 4 days 4 days we will have Switch 2. And then people can start buying Switch 2. And when they start getting the restocks in, people can buy it again. And then we'll start seeing where those numbers get to. When we get to some of those first financial reports from Nintendo, we might have an idea on how well this will or will not sell. Um, you know, but I'll stay hopeful that a lot of these issues work out. The company stop doing game key cards so heavily. Like, I don't know, maybe this was just like a like at the beginning thing. Like maybe they were still trying to figure out how to develop for Switch 1, or I mean not for Switch 1, for Switch 2. And maybe they ran out of time, and so they had to make a decision early because I feel like somebody's it was Marvelous. Marvelous came out in an interview and said they had to make that decision for physical or game keycard early on, and it was a hard decision. Maybe these other companies got scared and thought, okay, well, maybe we won't have like a complete game or there's going to be issues. So maybe game keycard would be better while we're still figuring out development for Switch 2. Um, Maybe that resolves itself. And then there'd be a better library of like things that I feel like I have to have. Right now, it's small because Metroid Prime 4 I could get on Switch 1. Pokemon Legends ZA I could get on Switch 1. So the must-haves is Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, Cyberpunk, Kirby Air Ride. I would say Daemon X Machina, but until I play it, I know that I like it. It's kind of up in the air. Like I would have probably not given that a chance on Switch 1, but Switch 2, I'll give it a shot. So we've got like 4 plus Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I think that's it. 5 games. 5 must-have games that are not a game keycard. But if there wasn't game keycards, Street Fighter 6, Hitman, World of Assassination would have been on that list. I've gone through this already. I won't bore you guys with all that again. But point is, exclusivity, especially for those wanting physical games, are very low. So it would hurt Switch 2 sales. Freaking tariffs could just really push down the sales if they have to raise prices. If Sony never raises their prices, uh, then you're talking about PS5 being at the same price point as Switch 2. that could hurt. That could hurt. So I don't know, but we'll see how this all plays itself out. I think I think that's probably good for Switch 2 discussions today. Like I said, there's 4 days until Switch 2 launches. Now that we are officially through uh, May 31st, I've given you guys all that time to vote. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pull this up. Let's see what those official last numbers are for that poll as far as what else is going to get coverage. Um, I mean, I'm pretty sure I know. I know what it was last time. Yep, we're sitting at the same. Okay, so with a whopping 3 votes, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour is the final game that we'll have to cover at launch. If you missed the last video, I will recover this in the fact that I don't think live stream is happening. I've still been working on it. I've still been working with this thing. This is the webcam that my wife has, and it has worse audio quality than the computer does. Like if I was to not have the headset and just record with the webcam on the computer that I'm using, it's built in, and its microphone, it's better than this. But when I try to plug in any other audio recording device, whether that is this headset, whether that's this headset, whether that is my voice acting microphone from when I was doing voice acting for YouTube. None of it works. None of it does anything, but it cuts all audio from this completely. So then it's just recording video if anything else is plugged in. So I'm gonna say we're probably not gonna have a whole lot. What I am gonna try to do though is I'll try to set this up where we can record the gameplay from when me and Larry are trying it uh, Wednesday night into very early Thursday morning, and we will then come back and do audio commentary about what we thought, what we liked, what we didn't like, and just put that over the gameplay footage. I know it's not quite as good as doing a live stream because we can't actively listen to what you guys are wanting, seeing the comments and stuff. But I just, I'm trying. I'm really trying. If I figure it out, I will schedule one on Wednesday, Tuesday night. If you don't see one by the end of Tuesday, it's not happening because I won't have time after that. My Wednesday is going to look like go to work, like leave the house at 4 o'clock in the morning. Uh, Work until I finish my route, which right now looks like it's just one delivery if they don't change things. So hopefully I'll be done around 3. Head over to GameStop, get the finalized receipt, be ready to go pick that up as close to 11 o'clock as I can. Uh, and another thing to note, which I had said before, and I'll say it again just to make sure if nobody caught it last time. Uh, Cyberpunk will get coverage later on in the day. I don't think I'm going to actually make it to Best Buy to pick it up because it's not being picked up from GameStop, and we don't have a Best Buy in Shawnee. It's pre-ordered at Midwest City, which is about a 30-minute drive from here. So, if you, sorry, background noise. What was I saying? Oh yeah, okay. So if we were like first in line and we picked up Switch to Mario Kart, Screen Protector, and my wife's copy of Split Fiction at 11 o'clock and took off to go do that. Like they don't even hand them out until midnight. We would get there at 11:30. That line is probably going to be fairly massive for this thing. Not just of people picking up pre-orders, but people hoping to buy one at midnight. So that's going to be just, a nightmare on top of that. I don't have to go fight anybody for my copy. Like it's paid off and it's going to be sitting there with my case. So we'll just pick it up when they actually open uh, Thursday morning. And I feel like it'd be more like Thursday afternoon. I don't know. Whenever they open, pick that up. We'll do coverage on that then. So we'll take a break from Mario Kart, from Switch 2 Welcome Tour, if I get the chance to do anything with Hogwarts Legacy or Split Fiction. But my wife is pretty specific on those are her games and she wants to play them first. So whenever she's done, I will play those and let you know how that works out. um, what was the saying? Happy wife, happy life. That's the one. Yep. So, uh, we'll wait our turn for those games, and then Cyberpunk later. Um, Sorry, I'm just playing with this fidgeting. So that's how that's gonna go. Uh, and then I don't know if I'll get another video put out before Switch 2 launches. This is Sunday. We've got 4 days. So yeah, Tuesday. If you guys don't hear from me by Tuesday, there's not going to be another video before that coverage, and there won't be a live stream if there's not something posted for it. Um, that's the point that I'm trying to get to. But so you guys know what won the poll, and we did that. We talked about the other stuff. That's all I got today. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any thoughts on uh, the whole magnet thing, if you think the physical cartridges, like the fully physical ones, might also be in danger. If you got some information or feedback that could help understand that a little bit better. If you guys want to chime in on the average consumer, and if you really think that they might catch the two, I don't. I don't. You could watch these people stare at a shelf for hours and be right in front of their face, and they'll never see it. It's like, but we could still talk about that anyway. Like, if you think I'm wrong, feel free to comment down below, and we'll talk about that too, or just anything else you want to discuss. We'll discuss anything. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.